Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Exciting times. Exciting times. Bitcoin's put in a new all-time high. And thanks for jumping. Let me go live here and tell people that we're doing it live. And then we will jump and see what's going on. All right, this one's probably not going to be a super long live stream because I have some other stuff I need to do. All right, so decision time has taken us up again. So again, the old saying is momentum will continue to take us up until there's a key momentum shift. No major momentum shift yet. So we are in our upper regression band here, and we will see, we'll see how high we go. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. Why does everyone ask me what my thoughts on Litecoin are? Like, it's like one of the first questions I see on the live stream every time I go live. Thoughts on Litecoin? All right, let me just we'll just do a cursory glance at the markets here. So Bitcoin is back in the regression. It's back in the regression band. However, no weekly close in it yet because we won't have a weekly close for a while. We have had wicks going into it a few times. So we had this one went up about 5% into it. Currently, we're about a couple percent into the upper regression band. But I should remind everyone, right, in the same way that everyone's talking about the pi cycle top indicator, it's a fit to 3 data points. So both the pi cycle top indicator and the regression line are nothing more than fits to 3 data points. So I would just say the pi cycle top is one that it's probably the most conservative. Right? I think it's probably the most conservative that I've seen flashing here. The regression band goes all the way up to 90.3 or 90.4K. So again, I mean, and not to say that we can't break it, we certainly can, but I mean that would still be another 45% move up. I think one way to look at this market, and we see all these indicators flashing and whatnot, is we know the market's extended, right? We know the market's heated. You don't necessarily need a regression band. You don't really necessarily need the pi cycle top indicator to tell you that the market's heated. We know the market's heated. I mean, look at it. I would say it's more so a way to remind you that manage your risk accordingly as we get into these truly manic times. Now the extension from the 20-week is still pretty low. So, that's just, I mean, I don't even have it. Let me go over here and do it. So we'll get the longer history. Oh, this is monthly. Let's go to weekly. Yeah, I mean, so I mean, from the 20-week moving average, there's still theoretically room to run up based on the idea of diminishing volatility as extended from the 20-week moving average, because the price of Bitcoin has been trending sideways for a while. It could go back up and still maintain the integrity of diminished extension from the 20-week moving average each time we have some of these major moves. So that's just one thing to consider. I see we have some scammers in the chat. Let me just take care of those. Looks as the pretending to be me in my own chat. By the way, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you like the content. let's actually, yeah, Ethereum is actually at doing pretty well now, 2271. So 2300 is not too far away, but again, the Ether Bitcoin valuation has not taken a huge hit yet. So no, that was not the real me in the chat. That was not the real me. No, I wouldn't call Forbes yet. I'm actually probably going to only do a short live stream and then do a premium list live stream, so we can talk about some other stuff. So we'll just talk here for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to jump off. So J2 Nick says they told me Ethereum is dead, man. I've been telling you guys, the people that say Ethereum is dead don't understand the markets at all. Probably they're just chasing whatever short-term short-term pumps they're going after. I do think Ethereum will stand the test of time, and it's a much safer investment. That doesn't mean I don't have altcoins. I do have my positions in altcoins, but Ethereum will stand. In my opinion, it will stand the test of time. So, maybe we'll see if we can hit 2300. Yeah, XRP. I think that. I do think there's a decent chance XRP makes it to the prior all-time high. I think the only reason it's not there right now is because of the SEC stuff. I do think it's probably one of the ones that I think that there's a lot of coins that are not at their prior all-time highs. The two of the ones that I think could make it there are XRP and Litecoin. Those are two that I do think will make it to their prior all-time highs. There's a lot of coins that are still like 80% down from their all-time highs from 2017. I'm not too optimistic about those in terms of them making it to their prior all-time high. I'm not saying they can't, right? I'm not saying they can't make it to the prior all-time high. It's just not something that I would probably want to bet my money on. XRP and Litecoin, I do think have a realistic shot of making it to their prior all-time high. ADA is already above its prior all-time high from 2018. Certainly, ADA is doing. Look at this, right? I don't really need to say anything. You guys see the chart. So the market looks good right now. And let me take a look at. So ADA Bitcoin's at 2187. Ether Bitcoin is still at 0.0359. Yeah, Link, what's Link doing? Link's at 34.54. So a lot of these things, right? A lot of it is nothing to really get out of bed for. Bitcoin is obviously the one to watch, as well as Ethereum. So maybe we'll stay on for a little bit longer. We'll talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then I'm gonna go. We'll do a premium list live stream. So let me go to, I guess maybe a shorter time frame here. So this is the 1 hour chart. So this was the candle, I guess, that took us above it. So I was asleep during this time, actually. This was the candle that took us above it. And we're continuing to move up relatively quickly. I would like to see if we can catch a $2,300 Ether on stream. We've caught most of the major milestones. One of the reasons I think it'd be cool one day to make a video montage of all the house TA, all of us going to our new major milestones with Bitcoin and Ethereum. I've probably been a little bit more on it with Ethereum because I do it every $100 or so. So we'll see if Ethereum can make a run at its new home on Ethereum Boulevard, right? So we're looking for a $2,300 Ether, and I imagine a $2,300 Ether might come on the back of a $64,000 Bitcoin. So I imagine that they would probably coincide if that were to happen. Make sure you guys subscribe if you like the content. So another thing too, I think with Ether is, look at this. The weekly candle has actually turned green. So this is an interesting time because, despite the fact that Bitcoin, this is temporarily speaking, we don't know what's going to happen on the entire week, but despite the fact that Bitcoin is in price discovery mode, so far, Ether is holding its own, so far. Now, where I would say that it probably would not be able to hold its own, where I would say that it would have a hard time holding its own, is if Bitcoin makes a run for 70K. Okay, if Bitcoin makes a run for 70K, I don't know if Ethereum can keep up with it. Okay, now I think Ethereum will be dragged up, kicking and screaming. I mean, I don't necessarily mind Ethereum being dragged up, kicking and screaming. I mean, you're still making money, but I would be looking towards to see if Bitcoin, because if you remember back from a while back when Bitcoin went into price discovery mode, you know, it didn't really, it only went up a few $1,000, and therefore Ethereum was able to keep up. It's when it goes up like 50% or something ridiculous, or 20%, right? Or, you know, if Bitcoin's making a run at 70K, this is when the entire market has a hard time keeping up. So XRP is still doing pretty well. It's at 181. So again, this is one I do expect. I mean, despite what people say about it, and I agree, there's some things we could talk about. Despite what people say, I do think it'll make it to its prior all-time high and probably go beyond it, honestly. So just something to keep in mind. So we'll see if Ethereum is able to make this move into 2300 or not. Is this still a good time for dot accumulation? You know, I've been saying for months now, since it was $3, that if I didn't, I mean, I was accumulating it between $3 to $6. We had about 5 videos on the channel discussing it between $3 to $6. Yeah, it's at $41, but I would still say, you know, if you don't have any, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with DCAing. I mean, it's not financial advice. You have to figure out what makes sense for you. But to me, it still looks like a pretty good play, honestly. I'm still holding the 20-day SMA, the 21-day EMA. So I think the dot trend continues. We did get off track a little bit here, but it looks like right now we're back on track. Don't sleep on Link. I'm probably one of the only major YouTubers that's not sleeping on Link. I mean, I am very bullish on Link. I just think that in terms of its Bitcoin valuation, which is the way that I think you should measure it, not necessarily what it's doing against USD, but you should look at it, you know, what is it doing? What is it doing against Bitcoin? And this is the thing where I keep saying, you know, as long as Bitcoin's in price discovery mode, Link, the valuation of Link against Bitcoin remains in a bear market. I mean, yeah, Link USD is doing good. Link USD is at 34.66. But we're better than that, right? We're better than that than to say, okay, you know, because there's opportunity costs, right? There's opportunity costs when it comes to investing in crypto. And so Link Bitcoin is actually heading down so far. And we have not been able to pass this 20-week SMA in a long time. And not really decisively, we were not above it for, you know, since middle of last year or so. So I look at this and say, again, yes, Link can be dragged up. It can go to $40. It can go to $50. I do not see a 3-figure Link until Bitcoin has decisively calmed down, and it hasn't done that yet. So again, I'm very bullish on Link over the duration of a cycle. In the short term, you know, if I had between the Link Bitcoin valuation, it still has not shown major signs of life. Okay, it hasn't shown major signs of life other than brief moves up to the 20-week SMA before we just get pushed back down. So for me to get super excited about Link Bitcoin, about the valuation of Link against Bitcoin, I would want to see this closing above 57,000 Satoshis. And right now we're just under 54,000 or 55,000. Really, it'd be nice to be above 60,000 Satoshis, because that would be above the 21-week EMA as well. So again, Link Bitcoin, it still is technically bearish until we have weekly closes above this. And then maybe we'll see a momentum shift. But I don't anticipate that momentum shift happening, again, until Bitcoin is decisively out of price discovery mode. Okay, so that's just one thing to keep in mind. Let's keep an eye on Ether and see if we're able to get a $2,300 Ether on stream. If we do, I'm probably going to end the stream and we'll do the premium list live stream, so we can talk about other things. All right, let's see. So we're at 2285. Bitcoin still at 63.5. ADA, this is that level I told you guys for ADA, right? You want to see it closing above this level, not just wicks up here. You want to see it closing, and if it does, then I'm probably going to get very bullish on it, right? And hopefully we're going to be talking about a $2 ADA in the not so distant future. But we really need to break out of this accumulation zone here, as I called it, right? The overvaluation reaccumulation phase of a lifetime for ADA. So we're looking. What are we looking for? Right, a close above, and then a continuation up. Okay, that's what we're looking for ADA. If you're on the premium list, how do you access the premium list live stream? Well, I'll post it in the Telegram channel. I'll post it on Patreon too. So if you guys want to go check out Patreon, I'll post it there as well. You can find a link to that in the description below. Let's keep an eye. If Ethereum hits 2,300, I'm going. That doesn't mean I'm about to go sell my Ethereum. I want to make sure that we do stuff for the premium list. So. Yeah, I did pick up some real estate recently. Well, maybe a month ago or so. Yeah, I mean, the whole Coinbase listing stuff, yeah, I mean, like, it's good publicity, right? It's good publicity. There's bigger fish. Sometimes when I think about crypto, and I feel like sometimes a lot of us are in a bubble, right? I do feel like a lot of us are in like this crypto bubble, and I don't mean like a price bubble, which arguably we're in as well. I mean like a bubble where the whales that we talk about, the whales, the quote unquote whales that move the market. There's always a bigger fish, right? And in the stock market, the fish are a lot bigger than in crypto. So there are definitely good things about crypto getting more exposure to traditional markets, because the fish there, that's where like the blue whales are, right? That's where the blue whales are. And these are the types of exposure. I mean, we need this volume. I mean, obviously I know the Coinbase listing where you're not buying Bitcoin by necessarily buying the Coinbase stock. But the idea of all the ETFs that are providing options for people to get into Bitcoin, the publicity of a Coinbase listing, all this does is it increases exposure to crypto, to the asset class. It gets more people interested. I've always said we need that type of volume. We need that volume to get Bitcoin to six figures. That volume that will come from institutional players, institutional money, and bigger fish in the sea. So we need that volume to make it there. What's interesting, what I'm looking at right now, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but what's interesting to me, and this is often a sign of a very heated market. And I mean, if you look at this, the spread right now on Ether USD, I mean, look, it's at 22.85 on Kraken. But on Bitfinex, it's actually trading at 22.76. So this is actually a pretty significant difference there. I'm curious what it's trading on Coinbase. Okay, so Coinbase is 22.86. Kraken is 22.85. It's interesting to see it at 22.76 on Bitfinex. There's about a $8 to $9 spread there on it. First says, I never realized how actual wealthy people look at money until I saw Phil Ivey lose 10 million in poker within 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, again, as I've said before, we're playing in the sandbox, right? Bitcoin, we're like little fish playing in a sandbox, and then all these ETFs and institutional money, right? It's opening up a stream to the ocean, and this is the type of money that we'll eventually need. And we are getting, I mean, there's already some institutional money coming in. I think that people are blowing out of proportion the amount of institutional money coming in, because it's not as much as we would like to see. I mean, if you think about it, you can think of a few companies that are publicly doing it. Of course, there's a lot that are probably doing it. They're just not publicly mentioning it yet. But we want to see, you want to see a bigger shift than that even. I mean, the thing about MicroStrategy is great. I think Michael Saylor is a true, basically a huge ambassador for Bitcoin. But at the end of the day, if we're being honest with ourselves, who knew what MicroStrategy was before they started buying Bitcoin? I didn't know what it was. I don't think many people knew what it was, and then it's just they started to buy Bitcoin, and then everyone all of a sudden thinks that they're like the best thing ever. So imagine if bigger companies start buying Bitcoin. You had Tesla, of course, but imagine Apple or these other larger companies are buying Bitcoin. That's what you're looking for. So MicroStrategy, I think, is sort of, they're opening the floodgates. Okay, they're sort of opening the floodgates for other institutions to come in. But I do think that a lot of it is not all. I mean, it's not all institutional money. It's institutional money plus retail FOMO on the backs of institutional money. Hopefully, we can get some bigger fish to come in and help propel Bitcoin much higher than it currently is. But again, there's still much bigger fish out there that have not yet entered the crypto waters. Yeah, BlackRock is the largest. So I mean, if BlackRock started by buying Bitcoin, that would be very significant. Yeah, I know Tesla bought for sure. Yeah, Tesla bought. Let's see. Yeah, so let's actually maybe look at it over here on Coinbase, because it's actually slightly higher than it is on Kraken right now. So here we are on Coinbase at 29 or 22.93 for Ether USD. Kraken, we're at 22.91, so we'll see if we can catch a 2300 Ether on stream. Someone says Coinbase is going to touch 2300 then drop. That does happen a lot, where it hits one of the major milestones or something, and someone forgets to open the garage door, and then it drops back down. Yeah, we've seen that a number of times. ADA's still just chilling at $1.38. So this is a key area to watch. I think we want to be closing above that level. So a close at this level, I don't think is a decisive game changer for ADA. You want to see it going up here and closing up there. Riho says, are we in a bear market? I think he's trolling, because there was someone yesterday that was saying we were in a bear market, and I was like, how can you look at a Bitcoin chart and say this is a bear market? Yeah, again, it's possible that other institutions are already buying. I mean, you think about Tesla, they bought Bitcoin and then announced it like a month later. It's possible that institutions are buying it, like that, some major ones that we don't know about yet. And then the retail, the further retail FOMO will come after they announce it. I told you guys for Ethereum, I did think $2,200 would come relatively quickly. I think the next major milestone for Ether, it's not 2,300. Ether can get rejected at 2,300 for a while. I think the next major milestone for Ether is going to be a $2,500 Ether. That's sort of what I see being the next major milestone, not necessarily 2,300 or something. But we'll see. How do institutions buy crypto? Well, I mean, a lot of exchanges have institutional platforms. Okay. You guys might not know this, but Coinbase. So how many? I don't think you guys know this, but so a lot of you guys probably use Coinbase, right? So a lot of you might use Coinbase, and then if you're a little bit more tech savvy, you might be, and I mean not that tech savvy, right? I mean it's not that complicated. You might be using Coinbase Pro. Okay, but there's also an institutional platform for Coinbase that you might not know about, and it's called Coinbase. Does anyone know what it's called? A quick pop quiz. What's it called? Do you guys know it? Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not here to. I'm not here to talk about the what you guys think about it. It's not Coinbase Pro. It's not Coinbase. What's it? Yeah, someone got it. Chris O got it. It's Coinbase Prime. So Coinbase Prime is institutional. Okay, so that's where that's where institutional stuff happens as well. So I just think a lot of people kind of don't know that Coinbase Prime exists, but it is there. Yeah, I mean, there's other things as well. Yeah, there's other things as well. Like maybe there's Coinbase custody, other thing. But I do know there's Coinbase Prime. Yeah, so a lot of people don't necessarily know that Coinbase Prime exists, but there are institutions on this platform, and there are businesses on this platform. I mean, I'm on that platform, right? I'm on that platform, so that does exist. So just be aware of it. And so, I mean, like the thing with institutions, right, is if you're an institution and you want to go buy Bitcoin, there's going to be a lot of paperwork as well, right? There's going to be a lot of paperwork to navigate. Oh, I just deleted the house. There's going to be a lot of paperwork to navigate. It's not like you can just say, hey, go buy some Bitcoin, and you go buy Bitcoin. There's a ton of paperwork as well. And so I do think that this is going to be some long, drawn-out process where more and more institutions get onboarded into crypto. All right, let's see if we can put in. Let's see if we can put in a modest $2,300 ether. Whoops. Okay. And let's see where Bitcoin's at. So actually, Ether's doing pretty well so far. Bitcoin just had a wick up to 63.63769. Ether's still holding its own at around 2290. Yeah, I am watching. I am briefly watching ADA over here, and I'm just watching. Again, I would look for that close above 138. Okay, that's what you want to see for ADA. This is what you want to see. You want to see it closing somewhere up here on the daily, probably. Because right now it's just more or less, it's just more of the same, right? Where it's just more of the same so far. There's no decisive breakout yet. All right, we are at 2293. On Coinbase, it's already 2294. Let's see if we can usher in a $2,300 Ethereum. By the way, there's a rumor going around that we need to get to 1,000 likes to get to a $3,000 or a 3,000. Maybe 3,000 likes would get us to 3,000. Let's get to 1,000 likes to try to usher in a $2,300 Ether. All right, we're still flirting with just shy of $2,300. Someone says like manipulation. I didn't say that it will decisively get us to 2,300. I just said there's a rumor going around that 1,000 likes would get us to 2,300. Sometimes rumors can be false. Can you access the regression and rainbow indicators for TradingView? It's all part of the premium list stuff. You can find a link to that in the description below. Intothecryptoverse.com. There's also Patreon if you guys want to. I'll be posting the link to the premium only live stream here in a little bit on Patreon as well. All right, we're still at 2290. I'd like to see us move up to 23. By the way, we also do have a Telegram channel with over 31,000 people. I'll say this right now. If you're the type of person that's going to fall for a scam when someone messages you pretending to be me, don't join the chat room, because I can't control the scammers. If you are fully aware of recognizing if you're fully aware of recognizing scams, then I would say you can be on Telegram. But if you're on Telegram and you find yourself prone to falling for scams, just recognize there's a lot of scams on Telegram. And I do the best I can to get the scammers out, but it's hard to control them. Am I still live? I mean, it seems like it might be lagging. It seems like the stream might be lagging a little bit. Epicenter says, how do I know if I'm bad at recognizing scams? Basically, if you find yourself falling for scams a lot, then don't. I would not encourage you to be on Telegram, because the scams are everywhere. By the way, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's go for 305,000 subscribers or something ridiculous. Honestly, I can't believe we're at 300,000. We're at 303,000. It's ridiculous how many subscribers we've gained in a very relatively short period of time. Some people are saying that Dogecoin is going crazy. Why don't we check it out? Let's check it out. Let's see what it's doing. All right, let's see. So that's a daily candle. So on the day it's up 26%. I've made some jokes before, and honestly they're not even really jokes, but it's just looking at the Dogecoin Bitcoin valuation. Let me actually go to a longer one. Right? Looking at the Dogecoin Bitcoin valuation. So the general idea is if you want to play the Doge game, whenever it's down here, you could pick some up, and whenever it comes back up here, you just sell it back to Bitcoin, right? It just sort of does the same thing over and over and over, and it does it. It seems like it just does it through each cycle, right? So this is the general Doge Bitcoin accumulation range, and then up here you got, I don't know. You could draw the take profit range, right? The take profit range up here, and after the take profit range, maybe up here is, and maybe I should change, so maybe that should be red. Maybe this one is yellow. So if this is the Doge Bitcoin buy band down here, this might be the take profit band, where anytime it comes into this level, you maybe take half off the table anytime it moves in here. And then if it gets into this region up here, this might be the get the hell out region, right? The get the hell out region. I often say you should not marry an altcoin. I would not marry Dogecoin. I think there might be some merit to playing this game, as we even mentioned it, I think, some in the last bear market. I don't own Dogecoin, so I don't own it. But if you want to play the game, that's the game to play. You don't chase it up here necessarily. You just buy it when it's down here. When it goes to the yellow band, maybe around, if it's getting up to 100 satoshis or something, more than 100 satoshis, you could take like half off the table. And then if it's going up to like over 200 satoshis, then you have to recognize that it's getting pretty far spent. The highest it's ever really gone is around 300 satoshis back in 2014. In 2017, it went up to about 190 satoshis, and then a few weeks ago it went up to 226. But this is the Dogecoin game, right? That's the Dogecoin game. Driant says you don't own Doge. Lost all my trust in you. Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. Yeah, so someone said it right, yeah. This is the why do you own Dogecoin region. Is it a good idea to buy ADA right now? Well, I mean, you're basically speculating on whether it's gonna close and move up here because we're still flirting around the $1.38 level. I'd like to see daily closes above this level because if we don't, and Bitcoin has a correction back down to say 62K or something, then ADA is probably just gonna come right back down. Look for a decisive close above 138 is what I would say. We're still at 138. No, I don't really follow anyone on YouTube for crypto. The problem is that a lot of the people, a lot of the crypto YouTubers don't really follow each other because like they're probably just so busy keeping up with their own stuff. They don't really have much time to follow other people. It's not. I mean, there's nothing against them. It's just that, yeah. I mean, I don't need them to make my crypto decisions. I see our moderator Al is in the chat. I was about to hide someone. We had a spam or a scam or a spammer in the chat, and he already took care of it. I'm not saying that people who watch YouTube videos are wasting their time. It's just that I feel like I have my own tools. I don't need to use someone else's. It's nothing against them, right? I mean, maybe there's decent chances that some people out there had better tools than me. I just, there's only so much you can do. There's only so much we can do. Am I still live? I think that you guys are. I don't know what's going on, but the stream, maybe F in the chat to pay your respects if I'm no longer live. But it seems like the stream is having some trouble. Maybe we need to call it. Yeah, we'll leave it going a little bit longer, but if it keeps lagging, we'll hop off. Yeah, it seems like it's super laggy right now. Um, that's a shame. We might have to call it early. It shows that it's buffering on my end, so I don't think we're live anymore. I'll leave it. I'll let it go for another minute or so. But if it keeps buffering, I'll just hop off. All right. I don't think I'm live. All right. Yeah, I'm on Twitter. Someone asked if I was on Twitter. I'll post the Twitter in the chat. I don't think you guys can necessarily keep up with the current stream anyways. It's funny too because whenever it starts lagging, like the chat becomes like 30 seconds delayed. So everyone will start responding to things I said like half a minute ago. But it mainly just happens whenever the stream starts to lag. Someone says change from auto resolution. I'm not really sure